Hi all, welcome to another interesting code snippet discussion. Right now you're viewing the code snippet which I've shared on my Telegram channel today. So this code snippet seems to be pretty simple, but we have multiple concepts that need to be understood in order to ensure the outcome of this code snippet. So to crack this code snippet, we have to dwell more in depth on the Boolean expressions that's been handled in this code snippet. So let's get into the action. Right now, let's bring up the IDE, and I'm going to create a class called outside logic. Let's carry a main method in it. And here we have a piece of code written within this main method. The most important thing is, according to the code snippet, I have kept the parameter for the main method as a string varargs, variable arguments, the three dotted syntax. Instead of an array structure like using the brackets, square brackets, we have replaced it with variable arguments. And the identifier name for that is going to be called as a weather. Okay, and inside this main method, there is a sysout statement. So we need to keenly observe what's actually happening within this sysout statement. So we are going to access the weather variable. It's an array, right? So we need to access the weather variable, and the specific index that we are going to access is 0, 0th index. And the constraint that I'm going to enforce here in this is not equal to null. So the first condition that we have here is weather of 0 should not be null. If it's not null, then what we have to do? The second constraint that is enforced here is using an and combination. We are still going to access the same weather of 0, which is a 0th index, and it's going to be a string right now, right? So we can use an equals method in order to check the value of that 0th index, whether the value is going to be same or not. So the value that we are checking for is sunny, right? So we have the first condition to check is weather of 0 is not equal to null, and weather of 0 dot equals method. Equals method is used to check the equality of two values. So weather of 0, which is a string has an equals method. String class has an overridden equals method, which checks for the equality of two strings. So right now we are checking weather of 0 is equal to sunny. If it is sunny, further I have given one more condition by using and, but here it is deliberate that not false. So not false is technically it's going to be true. Not false means true. If that is the case, then we are stepping into the ternary operator. So we are using a ternary operator. You can use that. You can see that I've brought in a question mark, and we have a colon for separating the true value and the false value, right? So if it's going to be, the condition is going to end up with the true, all conditions have to get satisfied because we are using AND operator, right? All the conditions have to get satisfied in order to reach the true value. So true value, according to the ternary operator true value section, is going to be go outside, and if it is false, then it says stay inside, right? So this is what we technically have in our code snippet. So it's pretty simple. Weather of 0 is not equal to null. This object, the index 0, is going to be an object of type string, and that object should not be null. And weather of 0, that is 0th index, should have a value called sunny, and not false is deliberately going to be true. If everything gets satisfied, then we should get the output of go outside. Otherwise, it's going to be stay inside. Fine. But if you look at the code snippet, I have mentioned as a note, there's a note for the executional command. While you're executing this program from the console, that is from the terminal, then you'll be using Java space outside the class name space the parameter. So here where we are actually passing the parameter, right? So this is the 0th parameter which we are passing, and this is your first parameter, first index parameter that we are passing. So Sunny and game are two parameter command line arguments. These are called as command line argument, right? So we are passing the command line argument to this application at the runtime. So Sunny and game are going to be the command line parameters for this program, and the program is going to manipulate this command line argument and going to evaluate it based on the ternary operator. Now the thing is, right now I'm not demonstrating it on the console screen, that is on the terminal screen. Rather, I'm using an IDE. So how do we set this command line parameter on the IDE? It's pretty simple. We can just go ahead and use a run menu. So from the IDE, Eclipse or STS, Spring Tool Suite, or Eclipse, either one, you can just go to the run menu. Under that you have run configuration. Just click on the run configuration, and here you will find Java application on the menu list. From the Java applications, you can right click and click on the new configuration. This will automatically map to the class that's available, which carries a main method in it. That is outside logic is the class that we have created, which carries a main method in it. So in this configurations, we need to go straight into the arguments parameter. Okay, that is arguments tab, and in the arguments tab you have the option to set the program arguments. So let's go ahead and define the program arguments here. So the first argument, according to the code snippet notes that I've mentioned, is Sunny, and the second argument is game. So you can give Sunny space game and then apply it, and let's go ahead and run them. So that's it. It's pretty simple. From the Java application, right click, new configuration. It will help you to launch configurations with the available class carrying a main method in it. You need to look out for the arguments tab in order to forward the program's runtime program argument that is more equivalent to the command line argument that I was trying to explain on earlier. So we have passed both the parameters. Let's click on run and see what's the output is going to be. So right now the output is stay inside. So it's giving stay inside. So what technically happened here? Okay, technically, if you see why it is coming as an output of stay inside, the reason is string array, which is carrying the first one, the 0th index and the first index. The 0th index is going to be Sunny, and the first index is going to be game. So coming to this, whether of 0, okay, whether of 0 is not equal to null. Yes, it's not equal to null. We have a value in it called Sunny. The second argument is whether of 0 dot equals Sunny. Now if you notice, equality will check with the specific case. So here we have S in caps, but here we have S in lowercase. This is a noticeable point. I have given the argument as S in uppercase, whereas while I'm checking for the equality, the equals method argument Sunny S in lowercase. So this will end up with false. So when one condition fails in the AND sequence, obviously it's going to take you to the false statement, that is nothing but stay inside. So that's what we are getting. So there is no point in going to the third conditional constraint. It just gets evaluated from the second conditional constraint and it goes straight into the false statement. So true will not get printed at this point of time because the equals, the second condition equals method fails, because the value that we have there is 0th position is Sunny, but S in caps, but here S in lowercase. So let's go and explore the run configuration once again and make a slight change. Instead of giving capital Sunny, I'm just trying to give capital S Sunny. I'm just trying to give lowercase of Sunny. And this time, if you notice, the output is go outside. So what does it mean is you're able to you're able to get into the true value. It's mainly because the second condition gets satisfied. So right now in the weather array, the first array is sunny, which is s in lowercase. The second argument is going to be game. This first condition is get satisfied, second condition sunny and this sunny are equal, getting satisfied. Third condition deliberately not false becomes automatically true. So all conditions became true, and because of that the output is going to be a true output, which is go outside. So this is true value and this is false value. So true value got executed. So you need to keenly observe that the equals method will check the equality of two values based on the similar case. Means it's case sensitive equality check, case sensitive equality check. So we need to be very careful in cracking an code snippet when we are using an equals method in that code. So we need to be observing whether the value in the second parameter and the value in the first in the first are same in terms of case sensitiveness as well. Okay, so that's the tricky part of this program actually. So we need to observe that more keenly in order to crack the code snippet. So that's it from this code snippet. We'll catch up with another interesting code snippet. Until then, thank you.